Good morning, insurance agents. I want to share with you a powerful leadership story I came across. It's found in the book Island of the Lost by Joan Druitt, a true survival tale that doubles as a masterclass in leadership and human resilience. Here's the situation. Two shipwrecks on the same remote island at the same time. Two groups of men facing the same brutal conditions. But only one crew survives with dignity, hope, and unity. The difference? Leadership, and the culture that leadership created. The Grafton crew, led by Captain Thomas Musgrave, landed on the southern end of the island. From the start, Musgrave set a tone, not of panic, but of purpose. Despite being shipwrecked in one of the harshest environments on Earth, the crew created a life marked by optimism, which gave them hope and perspective. Night school, yes, education during a shipwreck, where they studied languages, navigation, and science. Laughter and games like chess and cards to boost morale. Strict routines including daily chores, hygiene, and teamwork. Shared resources and even shared leadership, often making decisions democratically. Respect for the sick, never leaving anyone behind. They even had pets for companionship, to provide a sense of emotional comfort. They often had optimism by always identifying small blessings. They threw themselves into hard work when they were depressed. And perhaps most importantly, they worked on innovation. An example of innovation? They couldn't build a ship right away, but they figured out how to build a forge to make tools. And that eventually led to building a boat and escaping. Musgrave didn't just keep them alive, he gave them purpose. He built a culture where character, contribution, and care defined survival. Now, just 20 miles away, on the northern end of the island at the same time, the Inver called wrecked. Their experience was tragically different. Their captain was paralyzed by fear, unable or unwilling to lead. There was no structure, no unity, and no sense of shared mission. The crew worked separately, each man for himself. They broke promises, leaving the weak and sick behind. No graves were dug for the dead. There was no dignity, no teamwork, no camaraderie. They lived isolated lives full of distrust, and worst of all, the leaders cared only for themselves. There were no experiments, no innovation, no hope, and it showed only 3 of the 19 men survived. Same island, same weather, same time, but 2 completely different outcomes. Why? Because Musgrave's leadership created something powerful, a moral culture rooted in routine, faith, optimism, and contribution. He understood that morale is built on small, successful beginnings. You don't build a ship in a day, but you can build a forge. And from that, hope grows. In contrast, on the other side of the island, the absence of leadership created chaos. Fear spread. Trust dissolved. And men died, not just from exposure or hunger, but from isolation. Island of the Lost isn't just a survival story. It's a reminder that leadership isn't about being the loudest or most commanding voice. It's about serving, uniting, and giving people the tools and mindset to innovate and thrive. In your family, your business, your community, you will face storms. The question is, will you innovate and have successful beginnings that motivate and provide hope? Or will you freeze? Let me know what stood out to you the most from this story. And if you lead people in any way, do yourself a favor and read this book. Thanks for watching.